Again, we didn't seem like we had the energy we needed at the beginning of the game. I think we picked it up. It's a good thing Keon Ellis kind of had it going. The rest of our guards all really struggled. You talk about those four guards that been playing well for us, Quinterly and Shaq, and JD struggled in the first half. JQ picked up in the second half. We've got to do a better job bringing the defensive intensity to it.
I'll have more in a moment.
When it comes to your business IT solutions, smarter is better. Meet the authority from C Spire. Our team of super specialized engineers partner with businesses of all sizes, taking on their toughest IT challenges while finding new opportunities. Connectivity, data security, cloud services, you name the tech, we have a specialist for it. C Spire Business. Win with authority. Your partners in IT. Every size business deserves top-tier IT solutions. Visit cspire.com/business.
Join us tonight for Hey Coach, presented by Alpha Insurance, live at Baumhauer's Victory Grill at 6 p.m. We'll be joined by Alabama swimming coach Margot Geer, as well as Coach Oates on the phone from Birmingham to preview Tuesday's matchup with Davidson. Hey Coach will also stream live on our CTSN Facebook page. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by C Spire. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
WTUG HD2 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Who you are is more important than what you do. The only way that you're going to have any kind of success in your life, you have to buy into a process of what it takes to reach a goal. How can I be the best I can be at what I do? How much of your time was spent and how much was it invested in your goal? You can't do it unless you can overcome adversity, because that's what makes great things great, is the things that you had to overcome to accomplish them.
We have about 5 choices in our life, and everybody has a choice as to what they want to do and how they want to do that. But if you're going to be excellent or elite, you got to do special things. You have to have special intensity. You have to have special focus. It doesn't matter what God-given ability that you have, but without the rest of it, I'm not sure you ever get excellent or elite.
You have to have toughness. What does it take to break you? I don't care what circumstance you're faced with. What does it take to break your focus, to make you give in? You're tired, or you don't feel like giving effort or finishing the play like you should. I'm not saying it's our goal to try to break you. It's just the way it is in football. It's going to be difficult. You're getting yourself ready to play at a high level. And just because you got beat on the last play, that can't affect the next play. That's breaking you. Your frustration is breaking you. What does it take to break you?
We should help others. We should serve other people all the time. You cannot be a leader and affect other people if you're not willing to serve other people. Think of our lives as every day we should appreciate the opportunity that we have to accomplish and affect something. Earn this. Everybody made all these sacrifices for you to live. Go live a good life. Be a good father. Help other people. Accomplish something of significance. Make a difference. That would be my message to everybody here. Make a difference and help everybody's spirit in a positive way. God bless you, and roll Tide.
Jay Barker led the Crimson Tide to a national championship in 1992, winner of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award and a finalist for the Heisman Trophy, voted the SEC Player of the Year, and was drafted by the Green Bay Packers, also seeing time with the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. He is the winningest quarterback in Alabama history, 35-2-1, member of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Jay Barker brings that same championship quality and football expertise to his own radio network and show. Joining him is Lars Anderson, New York Times best-selling author, 20-year veteran of Sports Illustrated, and professor at the University of Alabama. Live from the AVX studios in Birmingham, Alabama, The Jay Barker Show.
Look, the game, though, I anticipated them playing hard. They caused us some problems. They went on some runs. Again, we didn't seem like we had the energy we needed at the beginning of the game. I think we picked it up. It's a good thing Keon Ellis kind of had it going. The rest of our guards all really struggled. You talk about those 4 guards that playing well for us. Quinterly and Shaq, and JD struggled in the first half. JQ picked up in the second half. We've got to do a better job bringing the defensive intensity to it. when we did get some stops, we were able to get out in transition. I think the fast break points were 19-2 our way, so it's a lot easier to get out in the break when you're getting stopped. So we got our defense just has to improve. That's bottom line. And then, it was a bad shooting night for us. We're going to have some of those, but if you can, win the glass, play better on defense, you can still win those. Would have thought spread might be a little bigger, but they're a hard playing group that made some tough shots and played as well. So got to give them a lot of credit. Got to give our guys some credit for, they went on a big run in the second half. I think we went on a 21-3 run there after we were down 2 and kind of opened the game up. I think we built a 16-point lead up with about 4 minutes left. We got to do a better job closing, making free throws, and getting stops there late when that happens too.
All right, welcome in. That was Nate Oates. And again, the Monday edition here of the Jay Barker Show with Lars Anderson and Matt Coulter. We appreciate you joining us. And, man, it's hard to believe we're just 5 days away from Christmas. But I hope everybody had a great weekend. Alabama, as Coach Oates said, survived, gets past JSU 69-59. And the big story this weekend, though, definitely is Bo Nix and his transfer now to Oregon. We'll get into that storyline and others from the weekend as well. Hey, we are presented by Top Golf of Birmingham. Get out to Top Golf, see Mark Grenier, all the great folks there at Top Golf, and a great time to go out and maybe get gift cards for the holidays and for the Christmas gifts for your loved ones or people that you work with as well. It's a great place to go for family fun. You'll love Top Golf. We call it the bowling of this generation. Also driven by Sonny King Ford on the sunny side of the street. Oxford, Anniston, go see Tony Russell and all the great folks there at Sonny King Ford. Guys, happy Monday. I hope you're doing well. And, man, what a weekend. And definitely the biggest story, I think, coming out of the weekend. Well, there were a bunch. The game yesterday or last night for Tampa Bay as well. We can dive into that in a little bit. But let's get into Bo Nix. I want to start there first, but welcome in. And Lars, I'll ask you to go first. If you don't mind, just kind of your thoughts and how surprised were you?
I was shocked. I did not think that Bo was going to go across the country to play. I really believed that he was going to go to Ole Miss. But at Oregon, he's going to reunite with Kenny Dillingham, who used to be the offensive coordinator at Auburn and quarterbacks coach, who was recently hired in that same role on Dan Lanning's staff in Eugene. And it's obviously all about that relationship. And, I would assume Dillingham sort of told him, like, hey, you're going to be our guy heading into camp. Of course, he's got to earn the starter's role. But, when he was working with Dillingham back in 2019, that was Dillingham's only season on Malzahn's staff. Nix won SEC Freshman of the Year. Right, and completed 57.6% of his passes, 2,500 yards, 16 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, ran for another 313. And I think also, I believe there was only one defense in the Pac-12 that finished in the top 20 overall. And so the level of competition is going to be a little bit different for Bo. And, maybe this is exactly what Bo needed. Just a fresh start and a new part of the country, a new adventure for him. And I'm happy for him. I really am. I've mentioned this before. I wrote a 5,000-word piece on Bo for Bleacher Report when he was a freshman, and really, really liked him in the time that we spent together. Got to know his dad really well. And just a great family. And Jay, I know you know the family well. And Matt, I know you also know the family. So, Matt, what was your reaction when the news came out that Bo Nix going to Oregon?
First of all, what's your cut with Bleacher Report? You just mentioned them, and you've got them on your hoodie.
Hey, this is like Antonio Langham special. They sent it to me for free.
Oh, okay.
I no longer work for Bleacher.
Hey,
that changed. That website has just gone downhill in my mind.
Well, after you left, of course. But I just ditto. It's like you copied off my paper. I think the first thing is Dillingham. That's an obvious reason. And then you followed up with the thing I've been thinking about more and more and more that might have more and more to do with his decision is he didn't have to face Georgia's defense or any of the other 13 for that matter. And he's away geographically. He won't hear all the – because there are already people coming out going, you're not an Auburn guy. Well, you know what? Transfer portal's there. This is why you use it. Suck it up and understand it. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm getting real sick of the transfer portal. I'm not liking it at all.
It's free agency.
It's Well, I think you said something that it is on a smaller level, but you equated it last week to JUCO. Yeah. And it's finding a player that meets your, and then you pull him in. So that's a topic for later on the show or later on this week. But I ditto, Jay, what Lars just said about his move. And just to finish on it, geographically, he's in Oregon. And you're probably not going to hear a lot of talk about the Iron Bowl out there, even though it's big. So, Jay,
it's all about the Civil War.
Yeah. I think their style, their play, I don't know, maybe even their uniform. I'll tell you one thing we haven't discussed, Phil Knight. Don't you think there was a pot at the end of that yellow and green rainbow?
There may have been. Gosh, who knows what NIL Phil Knight may have suggested that Bo could get.
Yeah, he's driving.
Yeah, Jay, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would say the same. You want the best for the player and for the young man. And look, this past year's been a tough year for him. Last year was somewhat tough, and I think he just felt more comfortable, being back with his former coach and having a chance to maybe repeat kind of what he did in his freshman year, and maybe just has a level of comfort with him that he just hasn't had with other coaches since he's been at Auburn. So y'all both made a great point about coast to coast. I mean, as far as him leaving and really not going to hear a lot about the SEC. We talked about him going to Ole Miss, and I was like, man, that's going to be really tough. You're going into not only in the SEC where you're going to have to face up against teams, but you're going to the West, and you're going into a team that's fighting and vying for that position where Auburn and LSU and Ole Miss and even Texas A&M, where they're kind of vying for that spot behind Alabama right now. And I just couldn't imagine what that would be like for him. So I think this is a good restart. And I think Bo's got 2 more years, right? Because of COVID last year, he gets that year back, so he would still have 2 more years of eligibility left, and could really make a lot happen out there in Oregon. It's a different place, I'll tell you that much. Visited there a few times, and it's a lot different than Auburn, Alabama. I'll tell you that much. So it's going to be interesting to see not only the football side of it, but just the lifestyle, the way things are so much different than what he's been used to and what he's grown up around. But at least he'll have the coach that he's known and been around, and will feel comfortable in that system. So I wish him nothing but the best. And I think, he's got a very smart father in Patrick that has been a coach, understands what it's like to work with players, understands kind of what his son's going through being a player himself. So I think he probably had some really good advice from him and others in order for him to make that decision.
Yeah, and it's interesting how things kind of come full circle. Remember, Bo Nix's first start was against Oregon, and it was almost like we thought it was the legend of Bo Nix sort of blossoming right in front of us when he hit Seth Williams for that game-winning touchdown pass with 9 seconds to play in Auburn's 27-21 win. And I think, again, a fresh start is what he needed. And the Auburn fans, they are pretty fickle. I mean, the ones that I know were pretty rough on Bo, and I think Bo heard all that, and he just wanted to get away from it. And this is a great opportunity for him. Whether or not he stays 1 year or 2 years, he's earned his degree from Auburn, so he's going to be considered really like a grad transfer. And he can kind of do, I mentioned this earlier, he can do what Joe Burrow did at LSU, and that's essentially just take 1 or 2 classes, grad classes, and essentially be a full-time football player.
I still wonder about that do not contact thing, because was he contacting them?
Yeah,
what happened?
He must have reached out to Dillingham.
Or
he had to have reached out to Dillingham.
Yeah,
I bet Dillingham. No, I think he reached out to Dillingham.
what did happen with the UCF and the Ole Miss rumors?
Yeah.
I want to say one other thing about Bo, and that's, a lot of people are going, see you later. You're not an Auburn guy. Well, he was an Auburn guy. He was born into it. And I think people need to stop and think before they start throwing too many arrows at him. This was not an easy decision. His dad played there. His dad was a superstar there. He was a quarterback there. His dad hadn't missed a game probably since he was 11 years old. Did he get some flight plans in there from Oregon? That'd be tough as a father.
And I also go back to the tweets that Carson sent out about commitment and loyalty and quoting Vince Lombardi right when he found out. If you look at the timeline and sequence of events, it was right when he found out that Bo was going to be transferring, and just below the belt shots to me.
It's easy to make that call, but then, hey, what about the guys you're getting through the portal? Where's their loyalty? Bad call.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, and I think too, just, and again, that is going to be tough, I bet, for Patrick, and trying to make those games and be out there, be a part of that, as you talked about. But I think fans sometimes forget that these are young men. These are, this was your son or daughter. You'd want them to do the best thing for them. You'd want them to be happy and being able to, I'm not saying not compete. I mean, the guy got his degree. He's been there 3 years, and the hardest probably decision he's had in his life. But he made it, and now he's going to have to, go out and try to prove what he can prove out there, and nothing really to prove. I don't think to many people, but just himself, they can get it done, and I think have a comfort level with a coach that's been with him before. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back, and more to come on that, and also some of the bowl games this past weekend, some of the highlights from that, and other storylines. Stay with us live from AVX. We'll be back.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
It's your girl Sav on Alt 1017, Tuscaloosa's new alternative. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
What do you give the person who wants to do everything or anything? What about Masterclass? Unlimited access to online classes from the world's best. For those who want to make films like Martin Scorsese, create dishes like Gordon Ramsay, or even flow like Nas. Maybe they want to make hits like Mariah Carey, or they're looking to make history like Gloria Steinem. You know they want to, and now you know what to get them. This holiday, get one annual membership and get one for free. Go to masterclass.com/listen today. That's masterclass.com/listen. Terms apply.
Get more diamond than you thought possible at Fincher and Osmond.
It's the artisan created diamond. It's a real diamond.
And it's real big. A full carat for about the price of a half carat.
She'll be back flipping into the new year when she sees these earrings.
If you don't know what to get her, this is what to get her.
See Tom before Christmas at Fincher and Osmond.
Slightly hidden on McFarland Boulevard between Edgar's and Local Routes.
Are you looking for a job with better benefits? Are you ready to take your career to the next level? Ashton Lewis Sullivan Lumber is now hiring for several positions, including machine operators and general laborers. Ashton Lewis offers great benefits, including competitive pay, paid holidays, and vacation, medical, dental, and vision insurance, plus 401k with company match. Apply in person today at 16213 Highway 171 in Northport, Alabama. Ashton Lewis Sullivan Lumber is a drug-free workplace and an equal opportunity employer.
Excuse me, sir, where did you get that great-looking new Nissan?
Townsend Nissan, of course. They saved me thousands on my trade-in.
Excuse me, ma'am, where did you buy your new Nissan?
Townsend Nissan. They are your family in the car business.
Folks, the bottom line is Townsend Nissan will work hard for you to save you time and money, along with the best buying experience. And remember, Townsend Nissan will buy your current vehicle today. Man, that is a great-looking SUV. Where did you get it?
Townsend Nissan gave me top dollar for my trade.
The countdown's on. Dash into JCPenney for your last chance to shop before Christmas Day. This week, save up to 30% on your favorite kitchen gifts from Cuisinart, Ninja, and Instant Pot. Deck out the family in Champion gear up to 40% off. And dazzle their holiday with Yes Please Diamonds, just $25. Hurry in to wrap up your shopping with extra savings in the nick of time. Joy, comfort, peace. JCPenney. Offers valid on select items 12/20 through 12/24. Doorbusters and Champion excluded from coupons. Other exclusions apply. See store jcp.com for details.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. Have you ever cooked a really fine gourmet meal?
Yeah, me neither. But I'm told it all comes down to the ingredients. And when I need ingredients to improve my car, the place I go is eBay Motors. Whether you roasted your last transmission, graded your current floor mats, or pureed your side view mirror on a lamppost, eBay Motors has the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them. And by the way, if you recently fired up your grill, don't worry, eBay Motors has grills too. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Tuscaloosa Tire and Service, they've got the big brands you know and trust. Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, Cooper, and they can finance for you as well. When you need routine maintenance and alignment, a tune-up, whatever it is, belts, hoses, just basic stuff, or when you don't know what's wrong with your car, truck, or SUV, make it Tuscaloosa Tire and Service. They're dependable, they're trustworthy. That's why they've lasted for over 36 years. Skyland Boulevard, McFarland Boulevard East in Northport on Lurleen Wallace Boulevard. Check out the website, TuscaloosaTireandService.com.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A mixture of clouds and sunshine today, the high in the upper 50s at 59. For tonight, becoming mostly cloudy with a low at 38. Tomorrow, a cloudy and cool day. We'll have the chance of some scattered light rain, the high at 56. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 48 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
All right, welcome back in as we continue here on Monday edition, Jay Barker Show live from AVX. And, we're talking about some of the bowl matchups this past weekend. Congratulations to Bill Clark and UAB. They got a huge win over BYU, 31-28. Dylan Hopkins, their quarterback, into the game, 19 of 23, 189 yards and 3 touchdowns. It had the one interception, but still 3 touchdowns and a big first half, especially for them. And then Dwayne McBride, that he was definitely kind of the story of the day as far as just the physicality that he showed throughout the game. They ended up with 223 yards rushing. BYU ended up with 199 as well, and pretty even from passing and rushing for UAB and BYU. But McBride was 28 carries, 183 yards. He had the touchdown, but he averaged 6.5 yards per carry. So that was big for UAB and a huge win, guys, for Bill Clark. And Matt, I'll start with you. We kind of previewed this last week and talked about this UAB matchup and kind of what this would mean for them to have a win like this against a team like BYU, ranked 13th in the country. And, after losing out and not having a chance to compete once again for a conference, title as far as, they've won the West and been able to, be a part of that over the last 3 years and win 2 championships. This was, a huge thing for Coach Clark and the staff, and they felt like this would be a great launching point for them and a finishing point as well as a launching point into next year as well.
Jay, I've seen this scenario, and we all have when it comes to college games, and a team as powerful and highly ranked as BYU was. They're 13th in the nation. Then they get an invite to a place like the Independence Bowl, and they're playing somebody like UAB. I played 83 when Alabama played SMU in the Sun Bowl. SMU had 1 loss, and they were going, we deserve to play somebody better. We want to be – well, you know what? Clark and the Blazers just reared back and slugged them right in the mouth. And you think of BYU, don't you think of beef? You think of physicality?
Yeah, because they're older players. Guys go on 2-year missions. They come back, and their offensive line, defensive line is filled with guys who are 24, 25 years old, grown men.
They are men, but UAB manhandled them at the point of attack.
UAB slugged them. Yeah, that was a great metaphor. UAB slugged them right in the mouth.
And they jumped out 14-0. Now, BYU's a very good football team. They held on. UAB held on down the stretch. Jay mentioned running 183 yards, broke away on a 64-yarder. But quarterback was very efficient, 19 of 24. They just beat them in every phase of the football game. BYU was still in it to the very end until quarterback sneak get the first down, and it was all over. But I don't think it's as big a win for the UAB program of all time, because when they beat LSU down in Baton Rouge, that was huge. But I think, all right, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, that is the biggest win of the Bill Clark era post the demise of football.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And
Yes. Yep.
I was so impressed. I was just so impressed with Dylan Hopkins playing in a driving rain and wind. He completes 19 of 23. And then Bill Clark, he was not going to be passive, right? 4th and 7, 6 minutes remaining. He passes on a field goal attempt, has Hopkins drop back to pass, and he throws a 14-yard go-ahead touchdown pass to Trey Shropshire, who, by the way, is the only player from LSU on either roster. So pretty sweet moment for him. And that was the play. I mean, instead, so many coaches would have opted to kick the field goal at that moment. But Jay, Bill Clark chose the opposite path and just be aggressive, and it's what Bruce Arians always calls the kill shot. It wasn't actually the BYU still had a chance to get back in it, but when it mattered most, Bill Clark is like, hey, we didn't come here to dance around or whatever. We came here to win this game, and he went for it, and it worked out.
Yeah, and at that moment, I was kind of like, wow, this is kind of away from Bill's or Coach Clark's normal approach. But I think in bowl games, you take chances. In bowl games, especially, because you want to do everything you can. Number one, to win, to end on a good note. I think you also realize too that BYU's a really good football team, and they can score points and very balanced on both sides of the football. So he made the right choice as getting the touchdown. And I think being aggressive like that too, I think it says a lot to your team in a bowl game where you can do that. Like I said, you can take some chances, you can do some things, and I think that gave his team a ton of confidence. I know it gave the quarterback a ton of confidence in that game after getting that touchdown pass. But congratulations to Coach Clark and to all the guys there on the UAB team winning the 2021 Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl over in Shreveport, Louisiana. And you're right, the game was delayed. I think 15 or 20 minutes. They were thinking they were going to delay it longer than that before it started up because of the rain and because of some of the storms in the area, but they were able to get it started. And really, really tough conditions for the offensive teams. In those moments, Coach Stallings, it was so weird. He was so conservative at times most of the time. And then whenever it rained or whenever it was like the SEC title game, he was like, okay, we're going to come out and throw. And I'm like, okay, you picked the day to throw. I mean, like this is, but his ideas or his thoughts were offense knows where they're going. Defense is the ones that's got to be a lot more careful. They'll slip down. They won't be able to cut. They won't be able to get to the ball as quick. So I got the methodology behind it, but a lot tougher conditions for quarterback. But I'll tell you this, the wind is really what's bad. If it's cold, rainy, I mean, I'd much rather be a downpour than it be just barely raining, because then the ball gets really slick. If it's a downpour, it seems like it doesn't seem quite as bad. And then the wind is what gets really bad. The wind is what affects the throwing and ability to throw and stuff. Hey, we got Mark Meadows as well going to join us at 1:00 today. He's with the Birmingham Bowl. Mark's been on with us many times, and look forward to having him in. And Matt, I know you invited Mark in, and we've had him in to talk about the Birmingham Bowl each year, and he just has done such a terrific job. I look forward to visiting with him.
I do too. And Missy, Beatrice, who's been on his staff, is actually the president of the ESPN group here. They have a small staff, but they handle the bowl, and I still marvel at what they're able to do. And really, really good, down to earth people. You got a great matchup, for goodness sakes. I mean, Houston, who's ranked, what are they, 19? Something like that. And they're playing Auburn in Alabama, in Birmingham. So, plus Protective Life is, I'm going. I don't know. What are we going to do that day? Because our show is on. Jay, you're the boss, man. What are we doing the day of the Birmingham Bowl with our show? And if you have to pause and say, I'll get back to you on that, I'll understand.
Yeah, I'll definitely get back to you on that.
Hey, Jay, really,
yeah.
Really quick about the wind. In writing my last book, spoke to Tom Brady at length about wind. He is obsessed with wind. He wants to know exactly the miles per hour of the wind and whether or not it's swirling, or does it gust if from one end of the stadium to the other. And so I was just wondering if you could expand a little bit on, and Tom has said that he would rather play in snow and rain rather than in a lot of wind. I mean, does the ball really sail that much? Does it really affect your ability to be accurate as much as sort of Tom indicated to me, if the wind conditions are severe?
Yeah, definitely. If it's swirling, and in New England, it would get that way a lot of times, where the wind would just be swirling throughout the stadium, and so it caused the ball to lift on you some, or a lot of times, but it just moves the ball. It makes it tough for receivers. If you get a crosswind or wind behind you, the ball's coming at you a little bit quicker, or it's going to fade away from you a little bit faster. You just got to make those adjustments. But the wind, it's always been the toughest thing, I think, for any quarterback to throw in. All right, we'll continue on the other side. Get into more bowl games, some more scores this past weekend. And again, Mark Meadows, he's going to join us live as we're talking about the Birmingham Bowl. He'll be in studio with us at 1 o'clock today. So look forward to this with Mark. Stay with us. We'll be back as we continue hour number 1 on this Monday edition, 5 days from Christmas.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
Hi, it's Jay Barker for AVX, Audio Video Excellence. They are the premier provider for custom audio visual design and installation in the Southeast. AVX seeks excellence in everything it does, including a superior employee experience. AVX offers employees an industry-leading salary, insurance benefits, and 401k options. AVX technicians also receive the highest level of certification and continue training, making it one of the most awarded and decorated companies in the industry. Career opportunities are available now for technicians in Birmingham and Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Join the AVX team by contacting them at avxinc.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. If you're average and you're looking for a new pair of running or walking shoes, I suggest you go to an average shoe store, where they'll sell you a pair of average shoes built for the average person with average size feet. But here's the thing, you're not average. No one is. We all exercise differently. We run differently. We walk differently. And our feet come in all sorts of widths and lengths. That's why at the New Balance Birmingham store, we employ fit specialists who will conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot size and shape, along with your gait, and then determine the best New Balance shoes custom fit to you. Because New Balance isn't your average shoe, and you're not average either. Experience the difference an unaverage custom fit makes today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Hi, it's Jay Barker for Siebel's in downtown Homewood, and now's the time to get your special place ready. Come in and let Siebel's design your porch with Kingsley Bait outdoor furniture and one of their custom swinging beds. For the great room, you're going to need their Carson swivel recliner. Siebel's is the #1 Carson recliner dealer in the country, and Sarah and I, we've got one, and we absolutely love it. Be sure also to check out their famous custom-made beds and bunk beds, built by Siebel's and made up with some of their best linens in town. Their staff can truly put your bed together like no other store. You can also follow Siebel's and shop on Instagram and Facebook. And be sure to call or go by their special store in downtown Homewood. The number is 800-448-1962. That's 800-448-1962. And just for listening, go to Siebel'sCottage.com and order anything you want and type in J Barker for a special discount code. That's J Barker for a special discount code available only to our listeners for a limited time on the J Barker Show. Siebel's in downtown Homewood or online at siebelscottage.com.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out gofan.co the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit gofan.co now. That's gofan.co. Letter C, letter O.
All right, welcome back in as we continue hour number one. And we brought up earlier, Alabama survives the Jacksonville State this past weekend, 69-59. And Nate Oates earlier, some of the comments he had about the game and saying that, they got to shoot free throws better at the end and also just play with a little bit more sense of urgency than what he saw or felt like they played with on this past weekend. So I think still, though, for them to survive and come away with a win, still big for them. And they've had some really tough games over the last few weeks and a really tough schedule for them. But guys, just kind of your take on Alabama this past weekend. What did you see against JSU? And Nate Oates, he demands a lot from his players, as he should, and wants to see them play at the highest level and keep that intensity level up throughout the entire game.
Look at a team like Jacksonville State, even though they play in the same division. You think, well, that's a smaller school in Alabama, different conference, lower conference. You're probably going to beat them by 30. But Alabama didn't play all that well. They didn't shoot well from three-point range. I cannot believe Shaq put up a goose egg. I mean, that's the most staggering thing I've seen out of this Alabama basketball team all year. But I will say this, Jacksonville State Gamecocks knew Alabama lives and dies offensively by the three. They extended their defense in remarkable fashion and really hurt Alabama. Every opponent that the Tide will face from now on will look at that tape, and they'll say, how did they keep, first of all, Shaq with a 0, but also they shot significant, 26% from three-point range? But to Alabama's credit, the offense wasn't doing it. They put up 60-something points?
Yeah.
They turned around there on defense, though. They played defense and held Jacksonville State at bay and ended up winning the basketball game.
When you live and die by the three, if the shots aren't falling, you're in trouble because Alabama doesn't have a dominating post presence. They just don't. And you're one bad night away from losing every night, right? Or losing to teams that you shouldn't lose to. But also, when the shots are falling, you're almost unbeatable. Just went up to Seattle and beat Gonzaga, beat Houston.
Yep.
I mean, knocking off two of the best teams in the country, and but it's kind of a dangerous way to play. It's exciting and it attracts players, but at the same time, you're right. What Jacksonville State was able to do was to sort of extend their defense out, make Alabama shoot longer threes than normal, and nearly pulled off the upset.
Yeah, and again, I tell you, it's Coach Nato's he's going to continue to push these guys, and I think there was a stat that you had up just a few. I think it was the first half stats there. Josh, if you don't mind scrolling back down for a second, and so the audience can see it as well. But we had this earlier with the victory. Alabama won its 16th consecutive home game. Hang on. 16th consecutive home game and 6th with win inside Coleman Coliseum this season. And also the fewest points, 59 points allowed by the Tide, matched the fewest allowed in any game this season, 59 scored by Oakland. So, defensively, they were, doing well at times and playing the kind of ball that Nate Oates wants. They just could not get it to fall. And as you brought up, Matt, as far as the shooting percentages and stuff, just were not what we normally see from Nate Oates and his basketball team that loves to play up-tempo, being able to hit the threes and score a lot of points. Also, some news on the CM Newton Classic. Colorado State, the Wildcats, replace Colorado State, that is Davidson, still step in as Alabama's opponent for the CM Newton Classic coming up. It was announced Saturday that Davidson will now take on Alabama in the Classic, which will be played Tuesday, December 21st, 6 p.m. at the newly renovated Legacy Arena, where UAB was this past weekend as well against West Virginia. A tough loss there for Andy Kennedy. We had him on Friday, but the UAB went down this weekend there. But Alabama plays coming up Tuesday night, tomorrow night, and the Wildcats replaced Colorado State this year. This year's event after the Rams program entered the COVID-19 protocols earlier this weekend. So able to find an opponent, able to keep the game in place, and it's a great thing for people in Birmingham to go out and have a chance to watch Alabama in person that may not have a chance to go down to Tuscaloosa and see a home game, get to go out there and also see this brand new Legacy or arena that brand new, the renovated, but about $150-something million of renovations put into this facility, and everybody's raving about it. So I can't wait. Matt, did you get a chance to go out to that UAB game this weekend? I know you were talking about going.
Yeah, I did. I took my grandson Cole, who y'all know has leukemia, and he enjoys. I mean, he's doing great, by the way. Children's Hospital is such a blessing. But it was just a kind of granddad Cole day, and of course Robbie Robertson took care of us. We were up in the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame suite. The renovations are fabulous. There are seating, there are skyboxes. There's the round loop that he talked about, the club level that's actually above the skyboxes. Just fabulous. It's a shame that UAB couldn't win it. Huggy Bear came in, and the teacher got the student once again.
Matt, let's do history lesson time with Matt.
Are you going to be the teacher?
No, you're the teacher.
Oh, I don't know.
Since you were there when Naismith hung the peach baskets, I figured you would be a good person to ask about CM Newton and what CM Newton meant to the state of Alabama in basketball for our younger audience, and even for myself. I never got to interview or talk to CM Newton.
Yeah, you're a funny guy, Josh. He was the first basketball coach I covered when I got into this business, like in 80, 81. And first of all, he was just a very kind gentleman away from basketball, but he knew basketball. Had they not gotten a couple of bad calls, and I still remember watching this in the frat house in '76, and Wambles tore up the furniture when I think the game was taken away from them when they should have handed Indiana their only loss that year. But that didn't happen. But I think the one thing
is that team still the only
the last one,
the last undefeated team.
Yep.
Alabama had them on the ropes.
Kentucky, late. And you literally, you might have been in diapers. Well, no, hopefully you were out of diapers.
Probably still in diapers.
But
that's embarrassing. Yeah.
Let's not go there. But the thing he will be remembered most is for Wendell Hudson and for recruiting and putting the black athlete on his team in an era that it wasn't done. And of course, we all remember the era of Kentucky where they wouldn't play. And then there were times like that. Alabama wouldn't either. But he transitioned Alabama in the 60s. And in the he just transitioned Alabama into putting African Americans on the floor, and that's why they call it the CM Newton Classic. Now he could, by the way, I think the one thing I haven't mentioned, CM could coach a little bit too.
Didn't he?
Six-time SEC Coach of the Year.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Wasn't he just? Wouldn't he attend press conferences and just sort of still be around the program
for a while? But then I think he ended up at Kentucky.
AD.
Kentucky. Yeah. I think he lived there for a while. He was the AD. He was there, but then he came back.
But didn't he spend his later years
he
in
was here.
Tuscaloosa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he had a place up on the lake.
Yeah.
That's right. I think you're right. He was at Kentucky, from 89 to 2000, somewhere. Then he came back at that point in time. But just an outstanding person, as you talked about it. And I remember when we used to interview him, always, he started his first coaching gig was at I think it was Transylvania University or something like that. We used to always talk to him about that. And and so but he was a baseball player and a basketball player for Kentucky. He played both sports and was a guard and I think a pitcher on the Kentucky baseball team and a guard on the basketball team. But I think what you said it best, Matt, just in large, I don't know if you've ever spent much time with him or not, but you talk about, just a jewel of a person, a man of just so much integrity and just really just one of the nicest human beings you'd ever been around. You'd never realize that he had been a head coach or been an AD, and he just handled himself and just such a great man. Just had such a kind spirit about him. I think that's what made him so special. Made him a great coach, I think, as well, being able to get through to his players. Hey, let me tell you about one of our great sponsors, and that is Fully Promoted. And Fully Promoted can help you when it comes to any of your needs of branding or advertising and the things that you want to get done for your particular business or brand. And they've got people there that are really experienced in helping you with local experts, finding and specializing, putting your logo, your brand, your story on apparel, team gear, caps, promotional products, trade show items, and printed materials. They provide access to samples you can actually feel and touch, and they'll assist you in product selection and decoration methods as well, taking your brand to the next level. So call Fully Promoted today at 205-406-6430 and mention that you heard this ad on the Jay Barker Show for a special offer. That's 205-406-6430. Are you fully promoted? I will return live from AVX, the Jay Barker Show with Lars Anderson. Matt Coulter, continue your comments and your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on our Bama Insider YouTube channel. Also, they're live every day on their Facebook Live as well on Bama Insider and throughout our radio network throughout the state of Alabama and down on the Gulf Coast. We appreciate you being with us each and every day. All right, we'll be back.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
This is David R. DeBose. I'm the Market President, Chief Revenue Officer, and Chief Content Officer for Town Square Media Tuscaloosa, wishing you and your family a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
The perfect place to make your escape. Golden Moon offers 600 finely appointed rooms with incredible views. Take a dip in our Vegas-style infinity pool, complete with a full-service bar and cabanas. Experience the South's premier golf destination at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, or catch the biggest sporting events at Time Out Lounge. So what are you waiting for? Come see us in Choctaw, Mississippi. Golden Moon Hotel and Casino, a Pearl River Resort property.
Because there's no such thing as too much sparkle at Christmas.
At Fincher and Osmond, diamond stud earrings start at $1/4 carat.
And go all the way up to stop you in your tracks, 2 carat.
And if you don't know what to get her, this is what to get her.
And Tom can help you out. Fincher and Osmond for Christmas.
Hard, but not impossible to find. On McFarland Boulevard between Edgar's and Local Roots.
And always online at fincherandosmond.com.
In a collision, easy decision. One name, one firm, one call. Mezrano.
I made that one call to Mezrano after being hit by an 18-wheeler. He got me $875,000.
I made that one call to Mezrano after being T-boned on McFarland. He got me $125,000.
I made that one call to Mezrano after my fender bender. He got me $50,000.
One call, one firm. Mezrano.
No representations made that quality of legal services to be performed is greater than quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
Holiday season in Tuscaloosa. It's time to cheer on the Crimson Tide. Another home team you can get behind is BMW of Tuscaloosa. This Christmas, consider the gift of a lifetime. An immaculate state-of-the-art BMW. Their starting lineup of 2022 BMWs is stacked with all-stars, including 7 sports activity vehicles, each crafted to bounce dynamic power, spacious interior, and impeccable design in ways only BMW can. Visit BMWofTuscaloosa.com or stop by to get to know your hometown BMW team.
I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician. If you're having leg pain, swelling, or redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to your lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and be deadly. Your symptoms could mean something serious, so don't wait. Talk to a doctor right away, by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, base is loaded.
This is what it's all about.
And here's the pitch. Oh, a deep drive to center, way back. This could go all the...
And now a message from our sponsor.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection. Progressive.
I can't believe it. Did that really just happen?
Folks, you'll never forget where you were when you heard that call.
Progressive. There's never a bad time for great protection. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A mixture of clouds and sunshine today. The high in the upper 50s at 59. For tonight, becoming mostly cloudy with a low at 38. Tomorrow, a cloudy and cool day. We'll have the chance of some scattered light rain. The high at 56. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 48 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
You know, JD got a knee sprain in the first half, so we decided not to play him too many minutes and make it worse if we didn't need to play him. He would have been available in emergency, though, so I anticipate him playing Tuesday. Charles has really come along. I thought his energy was great tonight. You know, he's blocking shots, you know, getting some tough rebounds, you know, 5 blocks. And, you know, he rebounded it much better tonight than he had. And it seemed like for a while there we could only get stops when he was in the game. So we needed him to anchor our defense. You know, he gets in too much foul trouble. Some of that's on him. Some of that's on our guards getting beat on so many blow-bys. We got to get better. Our perimeter defense by our guards has got to improve. We can't continue to put Charles in the spots that he's in, you know, trying to stay vertical at the rim because these guys are getting blown by all the time. Perimeter defense by our guards has to get better, but Charles is really helping us on the defensive end immensely. You know, I think he's our lowest. Yes, you know, when he was in the game, our defensive efficiency numbers, we were a .77, where team tonight was a .97. So we were 20 points better per 100 possessions on the defensive end when he was versus when he wasn't. So he was our leader in that category, and he played really well.
Hi, welcome back in as we wrap up hour number 1. And we were talking earlier about Alabama. That was NATO surviving the JSU game this past weekend and not playing at the level he's wanting or expecting from them, but still played some really good defense as well throughout the game, but just could not make the shots. And we brought a lot of that up. But guys, before we get to the top of the hour, I wanted to ask y'all, did y'all have a chance to watch Tiger and his son, and also John Daly and his son this weekend, and playing just, you know, it was a PNC Championship. Pretty awesome to watch Tiger and his son. I mean, and even Daly and his son, just the interaction between those two, and Daly and his son ended up winning it, and Tiger and his son came in second. But just the mannerisms, the walk, and Charlie looks so much like his dad.
It was unbelievable, and I couldn't take my eyes off it. And I loved I forget what hole it was, maybe 17, that Charlie drained a 20-foot putt, and he knew from the second he struck the ball that it was in, and he just did the exact same thing that his dad always does: raises the putter in his left hand and puts it up in the air, and his swing is just like his father's. And John Daly, wow, I mean, he is really rocking the Santa Claus look.
You know, you can make a lot of money. Maybe that's what during December when he's not out on the golf course. I got to get back to the mannerisms. It was very cool, but it was almost freaky. And Jay, I thought about you, when Braxton got into the football game against New Mexico State, and they had that ground level shot, and he did that thing with his shot you always did, like you're tearing apart a package or something, and then he walked in the same. I mean, and Charlie was just like Wood, just like you were. You were a quarterback, and it was all very cool, and I think everybody was pulling for the Woods team, but nobody was disappointed when John Day. I mean, he is still, not to get too far off of Woods, Tiger, but Daly, in spite of all of his ups and downs, is still a very charismatic guy.
Oh, absolutely. And he's really fun to watch. But I just as being a sort of a new dad myself and gotten to play some golf with Lincoln, I just love the father-son interaction. And Jay, finally, I'll just add, I think Tiger is a long way from being able to be able to compete on the PGA Tour. I don't know if we'll ever see him again, just because he said he's not going to use a cart. He's not going to apply for an exemption like Casey Martin did years ago. But it was great to see Tiger back out on the course, Jay.
Man, it was. And I don't know. I love watching that interaction between father and son, or even if it's father and daughter or whatever. I think it's just, we see kids or get to see those guys as dads, you know. And I tell you, another cool moment was the girl that's leading the women's tour right now, and got a picture with him. First time I think she'd met Tiger, and she was getting excited as if she was a 5-year-old. It was crazy about that. But what a great weekend. All right, we'll return. Hour number 2 coming up next. We're live from AVX. Stay with us.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Achieving your personal best often comes down to how you feel. And when it comes to the right shoes, nothing feels better than New Balance. The fit specialists at the New Balance Birmingham store conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot size, shape, and gait, determining the best New Balance shoes for you. Experience the difference of custom fit today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
I'm excited to tell you about our newest sponsor here on the Jay Barker Radio Network. They pioneered the chicken finger box and the chicken finger restaurant. That's Guthrie's. Guthrie's recipes and process are often imitated, but never duplicated. Look, their sauce is probably the most copied sauce of all sauces all time. And I've known this family since my days down in Tuscaloosa, and they came over, and man, I tell you, it's nostalgic even today to see my kids going to that same Guthrie's. And great family, do so much for the community, but more importantly, provide the best when it comes to chicken fingers. Get out to Guthrie's today. Hi, it's Steve Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com, or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269.
When you go to turn on the lights, you expect them to work.
Our team at Alabama Power does too. But sometimes, extreme weather and events test our system. Knowing we're out there making repairs helps, but answers are what you deserve. So, we're rolling out new tools to keep you informed, especially during storms. Visit Alabama Power's new outage map to see outages in your area and get updates on repair times. And sign up to get personalized outage alerts on your phone or computer for free. Learn more at alabamapower.com/alerts.
Following this summer's Tokyo Olympic Games, the eyes of the world will turn to Birmingham, Alabama, and the World Games 2022. Next July, the world will come together for the South's largest international sporting event since the 96 Centennial Olympic Games. 3,600 athletes will compete for gold in 34 sports, including lacrosse, softball, gymnastics, flag football, and more. Tickets are on sale now. Buy yours at twg2022.com.
Rock and Roll Sushi, they're proud to be the original American-style sushi restaurant founded on great food and rock and roll music, boasting concepts and flavors big, bold, and loud. They're the only place to experience the rock you love, the rolls you love, with the ones you love. It all began back in Mobile, Alabama, and then a decade later, tucked inside the Mobile Mall, expanded to encompass more than 40 locations across the southeastern U.S. Since day one, the most rewarded part of their work has been seeing guests fall in love with the amplified dining experience and become fans who return again and again to the biggest hit in town. That's Rock and Roll Sushi. Get out today for lunch or dinner.
Birmingham's best Mexican restaurant for over 20 years and counting. That's La Paz Restaurant in Crestline Village and Mount Laurel. They've got a great staff, its delicious menu, award-winning cheese dip, and margaritas and vibrant atmosphere have helped to make La Paz a local favorite. Blue corn nachos, Texas barbecue quesadillas, steak and blue quesadillas, Baja fish tacos, signature fajitas, and much, much more. So head over to La Paz today. If you want a great lunch or a great dinner, you'll find all that at La Paz, Crestline, and Mount Laurel for lunch or dinner.
WTUG HD2 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Touchdown! That championship trophy is headed back to Tuscaloosa. Now 15 dominating with this defense. Richardson breaks free on the sideline. End zone. How about that? You saw the Gatorade shower this time. I love it. Clippers wide open. Tide rolling again. Alabama again, the champions of college football. The Lusa kicker and will not be caught. Touchdown, Drake. Alabama back on top. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Alabama wins. The Crimson Tide will not be denied. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped. Saban with his 7th national championship. National championship number 18. 13 all. Absolute perfection.
Jay Barker led the Crimson Tide to a national championship in 1992. Winner of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award and a finalist in New York for the Heisman Trophy. Voted the SEC Player of the Year. Drafted by the Green Bay Packers, seeing time with the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. The winningest quarterback in Alabama history with the record of 35-2-1. Member of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Jay Barker brings that same championship quality and football expertise to his own radio network and show. Joining him is University of Alabama professor Lars Anderson, who is also a New York Times best-selling author and a 20-year veteran of Sports Illustrated. Live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham, The Jay Barker Show.
Welcome back in, hour number 2, and we got a special guest going to be joining us in studio, Mark Meadows, the Birmingham Bowl, and always great to have Mark in and talk about the great matchup they've got coming up this year as well in the brand new stadium. And so this is going to be a lot of fun, and I know a lot of people want to get out and be a part of the Birmingham Bowl for the 2021 version, and the Auburn Tigers playing in that game. And so I know a lot of the local fans are going to be out as well. I know Mark and all of his folks there are excited about that. Hey, we're presented by Topgolf of Birmingham, which is right beside the stadium. Great for tailgating before or after the Birmingham Bowl, or just anytime you want to go have fun. It is a bowling of this generation. Mark Grenier and all the great folks there at Topgolf. Go check it out for yourself. Also driven by Sonny King Ford on the sunny side of the street, Oxford and Anderson. Tony Russell and all the great folks there at Sunny King Ford. Go check them out and maybe buy a brand new Ford for Christmas for your loved one or for your family. But I know they're there to help you out at Sunny King Ford.
We are back in the studio at ABX. Jay Barker, thank you very much. And in the studio with us is the president of the Birmingham Bowl. Of course, Lars is with us as well. Mark Meadows is in the house. Mark, what's up?
What's up? Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. You been doing the
I call it my COVID beard. I had kind of started it before COVID, but I perfected it during COVID.
Well, nice. As you well know, we're on BamaInsider now, so it's important to be well groomed when
That's
you come
right.
on to the Jay
That's
Barker
right.
show right now.
So obviously you're a pretty busy man right now. What are some of the behind the scenes logistics that go into putting together the Birmingham Bowl?
Yeah, so we start in the spring with we'll recap everything that we did previous year. Then when we get to about May, we know our dates, and then we start our sales process, and we start putting our contracts together with our venues and the things the teams are going to do, and then we get to this time of year, and we've had this announcement for this fantastic matchup, and so now tickets are kind of the priority right now. Everybody's trying to find tickets, and we're real close to sell out. I'm hoping we get there, but some levels of seating are out, and some there are very few in some other levels.
That's really interesting because you see so many bowl games where 2/3 of the stadium is empty, and really other than the national semifinals and national championship game, attendance is an issue. But do you guys purposefully pick, like, say, an Auburn, a team that's relatively close to Birmingham, to try to get to boost attendance?
Well, our agreement is with the Southeastern Conference and the American Conference, and the conference has a lot of say-so in who goes where. But obviously having Auburn in the game is a great boost for us. They were here in December of 2015. It was our largest crowd. They will forever be the bowl record crowd. I think a little over 59,000, almost 60,000 at Legion Field, and so. Even if we sell out Protective, it won't be a new record, but it'll be a Protective Stadium record.
Mark is joining us in studio there at AVX. And Mark, I'm not there. I'm actually over in Athens watching my daughter's basketball game yesterday. We got another one tomorrow, and they're going to help her pack up and drive home for Christmas. So trying to spend some time with her. I wish I was there with you in studio, but thank you again for coming in. What does the new stadium provide for? I mean, like, what does it give you being able to go out there and sell it even more to the crowd and to the audience, to the fans that want to come and be a part of this? I mean, I remember looking, you talked about some of the record crowds and some of the things that you guys, I mean, you've had really great attendance. It's because it's put on so well. There's so many activities surrounding it, but just kind of with Uptown and just all that, what's different this year for the Birmingham Bowl, maybe even just on the peripheral, even outside the game for the fans?
Yeah, so we, in the past, we've had our Uptown Fan Fest on the night before the game, and then we went to Legion Field for the Fan Fest tailgate. So this year, the Bud Light Fan Fest will start. They'll both be in the same spot at Uptown. So we'll have 1 to 6 p.m. on Monday the 27th. We'll have live music on the stage. We'll have a lot of corporate displays. We'll have food and beverage. We'll have games, interactive games for people. And then at 5 o'clock, Houston has their pep rally with their marching band and coaches and players. And then at 5:30, Auburn has their pep rally. And then at 6 o'clock, we have a little fireworks display. And then we come back at 8 o'clock the next morning, the same spot, and start all over again.
Mark, one of the things I always loved about covering bowl games was what y'all would do for the players. And I think one year I remember going out, y'all had this huge bowling deal. Just tell everybody listening to the Jay Barker Show some of the things that you do specifically for the players.
Yeah, and so this year's been a little interesting with the teams coming in on the 23rd and 24th. A lot of things in Birmingham are closed. We've been able to work out a couple of deals with Top Golf, which I know is one of your sponsors here. I just heard their spot, and then we're taking them to Top Golf, we're taking them to bowling, we're taking them to Comedy Club. I'm trying to think what else we're doing for them right off the top of my head, but yeah, they'll be entertained, throughout the time they're here. We leave their mornings open for their practices and meetings, and then we kind of do things in the afternoon and in the evening for the two teams.
The Birmingham Bowl has a history of producing really tight, exciting games. And I would argue over the last 5 years, Birmingham Bowl's been the best bowl game in the country. You just go back and look, 2016, South Florida 46, South Carolina 39 in overtime. 2017, South Florida 38, Texas Tech 34. 2018, Wake Forest 37, Memphis 34. And then last year, very interestingly, Cincinnati came and played and beat Boston College 38-6. So you had an up close view of Cincinnati. Did you ever think that this Cincinnati program with Luke Fickell could make it to the Final Four?
Well, that I'm not going to say that I knew that they would make it to the Final Four, but they were a very good team. Desmond Ritter won our MVP in 2019 when they were here. And Cincinnati has a history of doing this in our bowl game. If you remember, Brian Kelly brought them, I think in 2008, 2009, somewhere in that
2007, 31-21 over Southern Miss.
Yeah, so he went on to have a really great year the next year, and then wound up at Notre Dame and now LSU, of course. But so Cincinnati kind of has that habit of coming to our game and blasting off a little bit.
Yeah, and I guess for UAB to now, you talk about the alliance between the American Conference and the SEC. I mean, UAB has a shot at being able to stay home and play their home stadium. Is that right? In the future?
Yeah, I think once that's all finalized, I think that's 24 when that comes to be. But that'll be a great opportunity for us and for them.
Hey, give us the specs on how you get tickets.
Ticketsmarter, BirminghamBowl.com. You can go there and look for tickets and like I say, some areas are sold out. Some areas have a few tickets remaining. But there are still tickets available. We think the weather is going to be great. 70 degrees plus, 75% chance of good weather that day. And so we're excited about that.
All right, I got to ask you about the trophy.
Okay.
It was trending on Twitter, I believe, on Thursday or Friday. Give us just and Matt has some stories about it.
It looks great. By the way,
we're gonna get into it next segment. But the fact that it's a replica of Vulcan and Bear Behind has gotten a lot of sort of notoriety. Did you have anything to do with that? And look, everybody is saying, or the vast majority are saying, this is the greatest trophy in all of college football. Don't give me a bowl full of oranges. Give me a Vulcan who's got a bear. You know what?
I was involved in having Crown Awards out of New York design that for us. And, we told them what we were looking for, and we sent them all the information. And when it arrived, we were completely shocked because it was so big and so lifelike, but
very lifelike.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great deal.
How tall is it?
Haven't been at Talladega for a long time. Doesn't Talladega have a Vulcan trophy that's somewhat similar?
I think they do. Yeah.
They do. I've tried to heft it, and it's not easy. Jay Barker.
Yeah, how tall is it, Mark? The trophy. It looks huge in that picture.
It's 3 to 4 feet tall. I think it's almost 4 feet tall with the outstretched arm. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty big. It weighs about 50 plus pounds.
Oh, I may not be able. Oh my gosh! Now I see the picture.
I didn't realize it was that tall. That is one tall Vulcan. It's not as tall as the original.
It's about as tall as I am.
That's a great looking trophy. Great looking trophy. All right, Mark, thanks so much, my man, for joining us. And everybody, get out to the Birmingham Bowl. We got all the information down as you see it scrolling. If you're on BamaInsider, with the phone numbers, the websites to go to, in order for you to get your tickets. And be a part of all the great festivities at the Birmingham Bowl. Mark always does such a super job, and we appreciate you coming in and spending time with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Mark.
All right.
Thanks, Mark.
We'll continue, and I guess we're going to get into the Vulcan Trophy on the other side, according to Lars, that y'all got some specs or some things y'all want to talk about, so we'll get into it. That's Houston and Auburn as the Birmingham Bowl gets underway here coming up very, very soon, and make sure you get your tickets, be a part of that. It'd be a great Christmas gift for a lot of folks out there to go see the new stadium at Protective and be a part of all those activities. We'll be back live from AVX.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
Hello, this is Charmaine Hawks, Accounts Manager for Town Square Media. I want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now let's bring on 2022.
Don't miss a play at the Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Your front row seat to all the action. Place bets on all professional and most college sports at the counter, kiosk, or on your phone. Then catch the game on one of our 20 big screens from the comfort of the newly remodeled Timeout Lounge. Plus, the PRR Sports app gives you access to live, in-play sports betting. Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Be more than a fan. Be a player. Must be 21.
In a collision, easy decision. One name, one firm, one call. Mezrano.
I made that one call to Mezrano after being hit by an 18-wheeler. He got me $875,000.
I made that one call to Mezrano after being T-boned by McFarland. He got me $125,000.
I made that one call to Mezrano after my fender bender. He got me $50,000.
One call, one firm. Mezrano.
No representations made that quality of legal services to be performed is greater than quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This Christmas, it's all about light.
And she'll fall in love with True Reflection Halo Diamond Settings.
A Fincher and Osment gift that will be impossible to ignore.
I'm Tom Osment, and True Reflection pendants and earrings are diamond set and a ring of diamonds. It's a Christmas light show like you've never seen.
When you don't know what to get her, this is what to get her. Today at Fincher and Osment, McFarland, between Edgar's and Local Roots.
Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, base is loaded.
This is what it's all about.
And here's the pitch. Oh, a deep drive to center, way back. This could go all the...
And now a message from our sponsor.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection. Progressive.
I can't believe it. Did that really just happen?
Folks, you'll never forget where you were when you heard that call.
Progressive. There's never a bad time for great protection. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Excuse me, sir. Where did you get that great-looking new Nissan?
Townsend Nissan, of course. They saved me thousands on my trade-in.
Excuse me, ma'am. Where did you buy your new Nissan?
Townsend Nissan. They are your family in the car business.
Folks, the bottom line is Townsend Nissan will work hard for you to save you time and money, along with the best buying experience. And remember, Townsend Nissan will buy your current vehicle today. Man, that is a great-looking SUV. Where did you get it?
Townsend Nissan gave me top dollar for my trade.
Are you looking for a job with better benefits? Are you ready to take your career to the next level? Ashton Lewis Sullivan Lumber is now hiring for several positions, including machine operators and general laborers. Ashton Lewis offers great benefits, including competitive pay, paid holidays, and vacation, medical, dental, and vision insurance, plus 401k with company match. Apply in person today at 16213 Highway 171 in Northport, Alabama. Ashton Lewis Sullivan Lumber is a drug-free workplace and an equal opportunity employer.
Some gifts say, I care about you. Some gifts say, I'm going to wow you. This year, one gift says both. The Oral-B IO, the electric toothbrush with the irresistible design that dentists will find irresistible for another reason. It improves oral health by delivering the wow of a professional clean feel at home every single day. This year, give the gift of wow. The Oral-B IO. Oral-B, brush like a pro.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A mixture of clouds and sunshine today, the high in the upper 50s at 59. For tonight, becoming mostly cloudy with a low at 38. Tomorrow, a cloudy and cool day. We'll have the chance of some scattered light rain, the high at 56. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 49 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
So 20 million people have seen Tiger and Charlie.
That's crazy.
Really wanted the same.
I know, that's crazy. But he's his own person. You know, that's one of the things that we made sure of that week, that, you know, Charlie was Charlie. He's whatever he does in the game of golf, he does. Yes, he's my son. But then again, he's his own person. And I'm proud of whatever direction he chooses, whether he sticks with the game or not. He goes into something else, so be it. He's his own person.
All right, welcome back in. I love that comment from Tiger. He's his own person. You know, he's my son. Yes, he's a golfer. He may not stay with this. He may pick something else up. He looks really confident. Doesn't like any kind of, you know, right now at his age, not going to feel the pressure of living up to expectation. But I think Tiger doing a really good job of trying to not even put those expectations on his son, number one. And, you know, I think by even saying that, it kind of addresses the situation, how he feels about it when it comes to Charlie. And watching that video again, just seeing them playing this weekend, and they showed the video of them together and the mannerisms of they, you know, scratching their nose, the way they walk, all that kind of stuff, just absolutely crazy. Hey, before we get into some of the stuff real quick, I know y'all guys may have some comments on that as well. And I know you want to get into something about the trophy for the Birmingham Bowl. I want our thoughts and prayers going out to the Philippines. That the typhoon that hit, almost 400 people have died, and I think right at 60 missing. And they're talking about as far as the supplies are just running out of supplies very fast, needing a ton of help in that area. And I pray that the families that are missing or people that are will hopefully show up, and there won't be more fatalities, and that people can help the Philippines get back on their feet. What a devastating storm that hit. There it is, as you see it on our BamaInsider page, as we got it up for you live there on YouTube. More than 375 people dead in the Philippines. I know I saw earlier about 56 was the number they had missing, so right at 60 missing still, but just a devastating storm, one of the most powerful ones that they've had in a long, long time in the Philippines.
Yeah, man, thoughts and prayers for everyone in the Philippines, and hopefully, you know, you just you gotta pick up the pieces. And so many lives have been shattered and will never be the same, Matt.
No, and I'm just looking at some of these pictures now, and my heart is just sinking. Last night, watching 60 Minutes, they led their story with the tornadoes that came through Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi, Illinois. I don't want to leave anybody out. And the devastation and, unfortunately, the record-setting damage and path that this particular tornado took on. But I would urge you to go to YouTube and find the segment from last night, if nothing else, just to see the sheriff's deputies and this one family that owned a farm on top of a hill. They all survived, but they found two children, a 15-month-old and a 3-month-old, in perfectly good health underneath rubble. And the 3-month-old was just sitting there like he was looking for his rattle, you know, just totally unfazed. The other one was a little bit more involved, but our prayers go out to the Philippines and to those that were hit by that.
Definitely,
what is it? They said last night 59 tornadoes existed in that storm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Historical storm. Okay, so there's no easy way to segue into this, but Jay, during one of the breaks, Matt and I were talking about the trophy that the Birmingham Bowl awards, and it's a replica of the Vulcan statue. So little history time with Lauder. Just because when I first arrived in Birmingham and I went and buy that thing, I had no idea it existed. And going up Red Mountain, I'm like, what the heck is that? So the Vulcan statue, it's the largest cast iron statue in the world, and it's really the symbol of Birmingham, and it reflects Birmingham's roots in the iron and steel industry. It's 56 feet tall, and it depicts the Roman god Vulcan, right, who is the god of fire and forge with ironworker equipments. And it was created as Birmingham's entry into the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis, and it was eventually I think it was awarded the grand prize. And when the fair ended, the Vulcan statue was dismantled and put on a train and shipped back to Birmingham. And then it just stayed in the freight yard there because of unpaid freight bills. Eventually, the statue was re-erected at the Alabama State Fairgrounds. But the arms were installed incorrectly, and the god was without his spear, which somehow got lost on the way from St. Louis. And so with nothing to hold in its hands, the Vulcan, it became like an advertising figure. So out of the Alabama State Fairgrounds, the Vulcan at one point held an ice cream cone, held a Coke bottle, even held Heinz pickles. Then in the late 1920s, the statue was disassembled for inspection, and during this time, kids played on the disassembled statue. And then in the 30s, it was reassembled, painted a fresh color, and then in 1936, thanks to the Work Progress Administration, it funded a new park atop Red Mountain. And then a 126-foot pedestal was built out of local sandstone, and the Vulcan was hoisted into its place, and a new spear was fabricated, and the Vulcan was repainted in aluminum finish. And there was a 9-day festival to commemorate this thing in 1939, starting on May 7th. Really big deal. And look, I didn't know any of this until I started to research it. I mean, you could write a whole book on this statue.
Good idea, Lars.
I know, it actually is. It actually is. And to take advantage, at one point, in 1946, the Chamber of Commerce wanted to make the statue into a symbol for road safety. And so the spear was replaced by a neon torch that glowed green, except during the 24 hours. It's not funny. During the 24 hours following a fatal traffic accident, and then it glowed red.
That's what I remember about that's what I remember about Vulcan the most growing up in Birmingham, is that when you came back in town from like being at the beach, or you'd have to come down 65. You didn't have 459 then, so you'd have to come down to go Red Mountain Expressway, and then you would hit 2059 to go back out toward Trustful in that area and stuff. And I remember coming in, and you always looked for Vulcan. I was like, we're getting close to the city, and then you would look to see if it was red or green. You're praying for green, and God, I mean, I remember that like yesterday. I mean, I kind of hated it when they stopped doing that, but but now the statue now is beautiful. Now, is the new one? Is it? I can remember. Maybe that's it. Okay, there's the picture. I guess it is still revealing. I remember that was always kind of the thing that it was always mooning with.
Moon over Homewood.
Yeah. Okay. So and the reason why so many people over Twitter just on Thursday and Friday were talking about the trophies, because I don't know, somebody prominent put a picture out, and then put a picture out of the backside of the trophy, and it is an exact replica. And there's the Vulcan has no pants on. His butt is showing. And so this is where you take over, Matt.
Well, just a quick minute.
Where you take over.
Yeah, he takes over at the bare butt part of the show.
I remember my parents loading us in the car. We came down and visited, and you went up there and you looked at it. It was just spectacular. I can remember when I was working at 13. Of course, you had to go to 13. You had to go by, and watching little kids in the car, they would just be so excited because they were getting ready to go up and see Vulcan. But it was also about that time that and by the way, Jay, I do remember the green and the red vividly, and in some ways I wish it was still there. But
me too.
When I first got to 13 in the early 80s, some group got angry because the man's bare butt, it's a statue, by the way, the man's bare butt was showing over Homewood. And they actually, don't know if they got to the point of demonstrations, but they had meetings to talk about Vulcan's butt. And I remember when the greatest PR move, or one of the best I've ever heard, Parisian, which was a very, very popular department store, they said, how about, you remember the days when blue jeans had all the designers and all that kind of stuff? There was Jordache, and they offered to put a pair of Jordache jeans on Vulcan. And that got, Jay, you remember that? You would have been like, maybe, I don't know if you'd remember that.
I do remember that, yeah.
They got nationwide exposure. And also, it doused the fire on all the protests and all the people complaining about it, because I think when Parisians did that, they kind of pointed out the hypocrisy of trying to change a statue that at that time was 80 years old. There are a bunch of people listening right now that remember all of this about Vulcan.
So again, as someone who was not born here, are native Birminghamians proud of the Vulcan?
Jay, wouldn't you say so? Absolutely. And I'm
definitely. Yeah,
it's like 25.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. I mean, I think it's. I mean, it really forever. I mean, things like that just aren't as spectacular. I mean, they still are, but with everything kids have these days. But man, we used to go up there when our families came in town from St. Louis or other areas of the country. You took them to Vulcan. They wanted to go see Vulcan and go up in where you could see over the city and stuff. And it was just a really, really cool experience. Same thing like art in St. Louis, where you can see out. And, it's just a fixture in your town. And Vulcan was definitely that. All right, we take a quick break. We'll come back and continue more. Not so much on this, but on other stuff and things from this past weekend. Some other news coming out as well around SEC college football and some of the games from this past weekend, as well as bowl season underway. We had Birmingham Bowl's Mark Meadows in with us earlier. Don't forget, check out and get your tickets. Go out and enjoy Protective Stadium and all the things that the Birmingham Bowl has to offer as well. We'll be back. Stay with us.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
Hi, it's Jay Barker for AVX, Audio Video Excellence. They are the premier provider for custom audio-visual design and installation in the Southeast. AVX seeks excellence in everything it does, including a superior employee experience. AVX offers employees an industry-leading salary, insurance benefits, and 401k options. AVX technicians also receive the highest level of certification and continue training, making it one of the most awarded and decorated companies in the industry. Career opportunities are available now for technicians in Birmingham and Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Join the AVX team by contacting them at avxinc.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. If you're average and you're looking for a new pair of running or walking shoes, I suggest you go to an average shoe store, where they'll sell you a pair of average shoes built for the average person with average size feet. But here's the thing, you're not average. No one is. We all exercise differently. We run differently. We walk differently. And our feet come in all sorts of widths and lengths. That's why at the New Balance Birmingham store, we employ fit specialists who will conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot's size and shape, along with your gait, and then determine the best New Balance shoes custom fit to you. Because New Balance isn't your average shoe, and you're not average either. Experience the difference an unaverage custom fit makes today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Hi, it's Jay Barker for Siebel's in downtown Homewood, and now's the time to get your special place ready. Come in and let Siebel's design your porch with Kingsley Bait outdoor furniture and one of their custom swinging beds. For the great room, you're going to need their Carson swivel recliner. Siebel's is the #1 Carson recliner dealer in the country, and Sarah and I, we've got one, and we absolutely love it. Be sure also to check out their famous custom-made beds and bunk beds built by Siebel's and made up with some of their best linens in town. Their staff can truly put your bed together like no other store. You can also follow Siebel's and shop on Instagram and Facebook. And be sure to call or go by their special store in downtown Homewood. The number is 800-448-1962. That's 800-448-1962. And just for listening, go to SiebelsCottage.com and order anything you want and type in Jay Barker for a special discount code. That's Jay Barker for a special discount code available only to our listeners for a limited time on The Jay Barker Show. Siebel's in downtown Homewood or online at SiebelsCottage.com.
Following this summer's Tokyo Olympic Games, the eyes of the world will turn to Birmingham, Alabama, and the World Games 2022. Next July, the world will come together for the South's largest international sporting event since the 96 Centennial Olympic Games. 3,600 athletes will compete for gold in 34 sports, including lacrosse, softball, gymnastics, flag football, and more. Tickets are on sale now. Buy yours at twg2022.com.
How much do you have to do with recruiting your own guys to stay and keeping them as opposed to also looking in the book? How do you navigate that, particularly losing a guy like Bo Davis?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think that's the question everybody in the country is asking themselves right now. Number one, it starts in the relationships that you build through the recruiting process when you bring guys in. And I think it's an understanding, here's the expectations and the standards, but also this is what you want to be a part of. You know, you're looking for guys that love Auburn. You're looking for guys that love football. And so, and you know there's going to be adversity. And I think everybody assumes that things are not going to go perfectly, right? And at the end of the day, you know, those are things that, you know, guys will make decisions on it. And the way it's set up now, you know, you can leave. You don't have to be a grad transfer and then have a chance to go play somewhere else. You can leave and be eligible. And that's really changed the game. So along with your high school and junior college recruiting, now you have really this opportunity for players in college now to make decisions on whether they're going to go into the portal or decide they want to go play somewhere else. You know, to me, it's, you know, I think it's a fine line as not just as a player. I think anytime you're trying to be great at something, you got to be where your feet are. You got to really focus on, hey, this is my plan. You know, this is the progress that I'm looking to make. These are the things that I know I'm going to have to do. And you're going to go through some rough patches. We all know that. I think that's the one thing, because once you get on the other side of it, you earned it. And when you earn something, we all know it's much more valuable to you than just having it handed to you. And so I think, you know, right now, I mean, we're just in a time where I think that's got to be extremely important to the players on the team. I think their teammates have to be extremely important to them as well. I think there are opportunities, and you know, it's free agency. You And so there's opportunities to leave and go other places and all that. But guys will stay. I think you'll be surprised. There's a lot of guys, as much as it may look like players want to pick up and leave, all over the place. There's a lot of guys that are committed.
Hi, welcome back in. It's Coach Harsin talking about the transfer portal and Bo Nix, the big story this weekend. Transfers all the way out on the other coast to Oregon and will be an Oregon Duck now. And really going out there and following a former offensive coordinator that he spent a lot of time with his freshman year and had a chance to be all freshman SEC that particular year. Oregon also wide receiver Micah Pittman. He transferred to Florida State. And Micah is the son of Michael Pittman and the brother Michael Pittman Jr. So now Bo going to Oregon, losing one of his weapons who was used more probably in returns than really on the offense side of the ball. He got really frustrated with the fact that it was such a run-oriented offense. Micah did at Oregon, and even asked for them to redshirt him during the year. They did not. So he felt like he lost a year of eligibility he wanted to keep. I'm sure he knew he was going to be transferring out at some point in time after the season. Also, Auburn hires Seattle Seahawks quarterback coach Austin Davis to be a part of their staff now. And I'll be honest, guys, I don't know much about him. I don't know if you guys do about Austin Davis, but never even heard of Austin Davis. I'm not saying that means anything, because I'm sure he spent more time on the other coast, and it's probably how Brian Harsin knows Austin. But the former Seattle Seahawks quarterback coach is now their new offensive coordinator in the school, and Coach Harsin announced it on Saturday. He's a former walk-on who became an All-Conference USA quarterback at Southern Miss. Okay, that's where I know. Okay, and spent 7 seasons playing in the NFL before becoming a coach in 2019. So the 32-year-old started as offensive assistant coach with the Seahawks before being promoted by quarterbacks coach in 2020. His hire at Auburn was accompanied by statements from Pete Carroll, who had a lot of good things to say about it. He said, "I think Austin's going to be a brilliant offensive coordinator, potential head coach one day." And Wilson, this is from Russell Wilson talking about this. He has a passion for the game, number one. Number two, he's got an understanding of the game as he played the position at the highest level in the NFL. And 3, he's an amazing teacher. He's an amazing teacher of the game. He keeps it simple in terms of relaxing the quarterback's mind. He'll be an amazing coach at Auburn. So high praises for him and for them getting Austin Davis as their new coordinator for the Auburn Tigers. Guys, your thoughts on the hire?
Well, for starters, he was the youngest assistant coach in the NFL last year, which shows you something that he's on the fast track here. Yeah, I mean, he's known as a guy who can develop quarterbacks, and that is going to be really crucial for Auburn next season. And it's a little bit of a out of the box hire, just the same way that Harsin was an out of the box hire. But 2 days before Davis was officially hired, Harsin did hint that Auburn's next offensive coordinator need to be a quarterback savant in order to help him with the impending quarterback sort of battle in the room. And they need to figure out, hey, what scheme are we running? What quarterback is going to be best to do that? And it certainly sounds like Davis is going to be calling the plays, with Harsin having a hand in that. Harsin was the OC and quarterbacks coach at both Texas and Boise State. But I think Davis is going to be the guy. So he is going to be a very important person within the entire Auburn program going forward. And again, you're placing a lot of faith and a lot of trust in a guy who just last year was the youngest offensive assistant in the NFL.
He needs to be a whisperer, doesn't he? He doesn't have Bo now, but he'll have TJ Finley. He's going to have to coach him up, which brings to mind kind of
He's also
veering.
got Demetrius Davis, who was the winningest player in Texas high school history. He's a sort of athlete, but shorter, right? And then incoming freshman Hoyden Gurnier. He looks to be like he could be a big time quarterback. But yeah, go ahead, Matt. Sorry, I didn't.
No. That's fine. But I think the emphasis will be on TJ Finley, which kind of brings me to a veer in the road here. And that's that TJ Finley will be the starter against Houston. I don't think there's any question about that. He's going to get this extra time to practice, which is always good. I want to ask you, Jay, in the practices that you had when you were under Coach Stallings at Alabama, between the Alabama-Auburn game and then your bowl game, was there an obvious effort for a guy like Gene Stallings, old school, to kind of try and get some of those younger guys that he was really going to depend on the following year? And I think a good example, even though he's not going to be the starter, is that Ty Simpson is already a member of the Alabama practice squad going into the game against Cincinnati. Do you see that now a lot more than when you were at Alabama?
Oh, so much more. I mean, and I think, and not that we didn't do that in the bowl games, practices. It was, that was a time also where they did a lot of after practice. They would shorten practice during that time for the guys who were starters. We would go in and work out or whatever. Or even, I think my freshman year, I was a part of this when I got redshirted, and we would stay out and scrimmage. And so they would put the best versus the best of the guys that were not getting, maybe a lot of playing time, but they wanted to see them running the system, see them how they're going to react to certain things. It was like an 8-day game type scenario. It wasn't, in the stadium or anything like that. It was just on the practice field. But it was a chance to, everybody called it kind of that second spring training that you would get. That was part of the reward for the coaching staff and for the young players, was to get that extra time to work on things. But it is a lot different now. And I think even for Ty, even if he doesn't, if he just gets some reps as far as one-on-ones, if he just gets some reps in 7-on-7, or maybe runs a little bit of scout team, it's more about just feeling comfortable and him coming in and being in a game situation, preparation-wise, seeing how it all goes down to where that's going to prepare him just mentally and psychologically, emotionally, all that, for when he gets there, he'll go, okay, I've seen this. I see what it looks like. I know what that feels like. I know the process that we have to go through in order to get ready for a game. So I think that's valuable for a young quarterback, just to be able to experience that before, really that they're, asked to or expected to be performing at a certain level. Then he'll have another year behind Bryce to be able to sit back and watch and learn from him, as Bryce did with Mac Jones and other quarterbacks. All right, we need to take a quick break, and we'll come back. We'll finish up hour number 2. Matt Coulter, Lars Anderson, I'm Jay Barker. You're listening to The Jay Barker Show. We are live from AVX. Stay with us.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
Hey, this is Ryan Fowler from Tide 100.9, wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a happy 2022.
The perfect place to make your escape. Golden Moon offers 600 finely appointed rooms with incredible views. Take a dip in our Vegas-style infinity pool, complete with a full-service bar and cabanas. Experience the South's premier golf destination at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, or catch the biggest sporting events at Time Out Lounge. So what are you waiting for? Come see us in Choctaw, Mississippi. Golden Moon Hotel and Casino, a Pearl River Resort property.
Holiday season in Tuscaloosa. It's time to cheer on the Crimson Tide. Another home team you can get behind is BMW of Tuscaloosa. This Christmas, consider the gift of a lifetime. An immaculate state-of-the-art BMW. Their starting lineup of 2022 BMWs is stacked with all-stars, including 7 sports activity vehicles, each crafted to bounce dynamic power, spacious interior, and impeccable design in ways only BMW can. Visit BMWofTuscaloosa.com or stop by to get to know your hometown BMW team.
Has the pandemic affected your business? Even with more and more customers going online in the past 5 years, online business has grown greatly due to the pandemic. Now more more than ever, it's important to have a strong online presence so that customers can find your business and products easily. That's where Townsquare comes in to help. Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free competitive analysis to see how your business stands up to the competition. And if you're one of the first to sign up, you'll get $500 in free advertising on this radio station. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
Are you looking for a job with better benefits? Are you ready to take your career to the next level? Ashton Lewis Sullivan Lumber is now hiring for several positions, including machine operators and general laborers. Ashton Lewis offers great benefits, including competitive pay, paid holidays, and vacation, medical, dental, and vision insurance, plus 401k with company match. Apply in person today at 16213 Highway 171 in Northport, Alabama. Ashton Lewis Sullivan Lumber is a drug-free workplace and an equal opportunity employer.
Year-end quota sales event is underway at Townsend Nissan now. If you'd like to save time and money, here's your opportunity, folks. And yes, Townsend Nissan will buy your current vehicle today. And yes, Townsend Nissan offers a lifetime powertrain warranty on new Nissans. And yes, we have some of the most fuel-sipping units on the road. Sentras and Altimas, 37 MPGs. And if you want power, check out the 400 horsepower Titan truck, along with the all-new Frontier. And yes, Townsend Nissan will buy your vehicle today. Shop Townsend Nissan Tuscaloosa. Save time and money.
Shop 50 to 70% off almost everything at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com. This week only, plus new deals on stocking stuffers. Save through December 20th at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com.
During Dell's holiday event, save up to $250 on computers with Intel Core processors. Get special savings on Dell, XPS, and Alienware systems, plus monitors, docks, and accessories, all with free shipping. Call 800-BY-DELL. That's 800-BY-DELL.
Want to get out of your dead-end job, but think you don't have time? Think again. Now you can complete the My Computer Career Evening program in 30 weeks, almost 30% shorter. You could start your new life as an IT pro in months, not years. More than just a school, My Computer Career helps you get into the industry by working with employers that have hired our students. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. It's not rocket science, it's mycomputercareer.edu.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A mixture of clouds and sunshine today, the high in the upper 50s at 59. For tonight, becoming mostly cloudy with a low at 38. Tomorrow, a cloudy and cool day. We'll have the chance of some scattered light rain, the high at 56. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 49 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Welcome back in, and really appreciate everybody joining us, whether it be on Bama Insider and our YouTube channel there, or Bama Insider Facebook Live, also throughout our network, throughout the stations throughout Alabama, down the Gulf Coast as well. Our flagship station, 100.9 FM, that is Tide 100.9 FM down in Tuscaloosa. And all of you listening in throughout not only terrestrial radio, but also online with us each and every day. Thank you for your comments and your thoughts. And hard to believe it's Christmas week, but I really appreciate you guys listening and watching every single day. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe with those as well. And we really appreciate that. Hey, DTPM is one of our great sponsors, and they've been with us now for a little bit over a year, and they deal with laboratories. And I tell you, just the ability to put your own lab in your own practice is just unbelievable. And Gene Kleckler and all the folks there have just done a tremendous job. And they do so much in the community as well, helping out with so many different charities and things like that. Just a great company to be a part of. But DTPM.com, learn more information about them. They've been around and trusted since 1993. They're your total solution provider for comprehensive array of diagnostic lab testing equipment, supplies, and services. A leading provider of turnkey laboratory solutions, currently servicing customers in 47 states and growing. Now, they remain national in scope, but they're local in service as well. And if you're looking for laboratory services or setups for your practice, DTPM is your partner from the beginning, providing customizable total program management solutions, including complete laboratory setup and management. And they provide total program management services for treatment centers, physician offices, recovery courts, reference laboratories, urgent cares, and anybody that's actually sending labs out. It's going to not only be better outcomes for your patients, but better outcome for your practice as well. Check them out, dtpm.com. All right, guys, finishing off hour number 2. And I know we've talked a lot of college football. We've talked college basketball, as well as Alabama able to survive against JSU. But I got to get your guys' thoughts. What did you think about the Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley fight this past weekend? Did y'all get a chance to see any of the highlights or get a chance to watch it, and just kind of your perspective on Jake Paul and these type of boxing events?
I have to throw up an air ball here.
Me too.
I think I saw it promoted after the Auburn win. By the way, Auburn basketball, really good game. And they ended up winning it. A couple of huge threes. And I think right after that match may have been coming on. But, Jay, got to be totally honest here. That's the only thing I think.
Two things I want to say. Some breaking news out of Tampa. Chris Godwin, wide receiver, out for the year with the ACL. Tampa just lost 9-0 last night. And first time in 255 games that Tom Brady has been blanked. Who is the last team that shut Brady out? You got to go back to December 10th, 2006, 21-0. Patriots lost to the Dolphins, coached by Nick Saban.
Tell us about the fight, Jay.
I just saw the knockout. I saw some of the highlights and stuff, but there's a lot of people that have doubted Jake Paul and saying, are these setups, or is this real? Is this going to be something that he really wants to do? He seems really committed to it, like really is into it and taking on the challenge. I saw one UFC fighter has already challenged us, hey, come get in the octagon with me. I'll take your head off, I think was the quote he said. But we'll see what Jake Paul decides on that. But yeah, I mean that he definitely has put a lot into it. I mean, he works his tail off to get there. And what's amazing is just the amount of young fans that really have known him for so long. He and his brother, from social media and from all the stuff they did before, and the audience that brings the money it generates through these pay-per-view or TV type events has just been unbelievable.
I really didn't know you were a big fight guy. That's cool to know.
Yeah, no, I actually did see the knockout, and a lot of people were saying that it was totally staged because he essentially put his gloves down and waited. You could count 1, 2, 3, and you could see that punch coming from a country mile away.
Yeah, and also you're talking about Brady. I think I saw where Brady made the Pro Bowl, and also he broke a tablet last night. Saw him throwing it away on the side. he was frustrated. Hey, thanks for Matt Coulter, from Lars Anderson. I'm Jay Barker, and also Josh Smith, our producer, as always, doing all the stuff throughout the show. Thank you for listening and watching. Have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow for the Tuesday edition. Jay Barker Show, live from AVX.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Achieving your personal best often comes down to how you feel. And when it comes to the right shoes, nothing feels better than New Balance. The fit specialists at the New Balance Birmingham store conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot size, shape, and gait, determining the best New Balance shoes for you. Experience the difference of custom fit